when it comes to hiring, don't search for great talent, match with them. Thanks to Indeed. Indeed is your matching and hiring platform with over 350 million global monthly visitors, according to Indeed data, and a matching engine that helps you find qualified candidates fast. And Indeed doesn't just help you hire faster. 93% of employers agree Indeed delivers the highest quality matches compared to other job sites, according to a recent Indeed survey, leveraging over 140 million qualifications and preferences every day. Indeed's matching engine is constantly learning from your preferences, so the more you use Indeed, the better it gets. Join more than 3.5 million businesses worldwide that use Indeed to hire great talent fast. Just go to Indeed.com/listen right now. And listeners of this show will get a $75 sponsored job credit to get your jobs more visibility. Go to Indeed.com/listen and tell them you heard about them from this podcast. Terms and conditions apply.
Drumbeats filled the air, navels pressed against each other, and hips swayed. A dance of celebration was one of the few things the Congolese were able to take into enslavement. The history of the Rumba is a tale of cultural erasure. This is 2 Minute Black History, what you didn't learn in school. The enslaved Congolese in Cuba brought with them the music and dances of their homeland. With its infectious rhythm and vigorous movements, the rumba was diluted, sanitized, and ultimately transformed into the form we know today, sapped of its rich history and origin. The blending of African traditions with Spanish colonialism created a unique Afro-Cuba identity. Despite the significant influence of African culture and heritage on Cuban society, the country has a history of attempting to erase blackness. What happened to the rumba is a prime example. The Cuban government downplayed the contributions of Afro-Cubans, reinforcing anti-black ideology. African practices were banned. In 1925, President Geraldo Machado prohibited public performances of music and dance that had African origins. Rumba changed because of these bans, replacing movements deemed too sexy with San Cubano's influence. The separation of the rumba from its African roots is a clear example of how anti-blackness has permeated cultural expression. The deliberate erasure of the African origins of the rumba not only devalues the contributions and experiences of Black people, but also serves as a stark reminder of how colonialism and oppression continue to shape our world. Regardless of the anti-blackness that our creations face, we have to keep doing what we do. The authenticity of our creations will always showcase the power of our culture. In order to move towards the future, you've got to look to the past. This has been 2 Minute Black History, a podcast by Push Black. If you enjoyed this episode and want to show your support, please rate and subscribe to our podcast. Together, let's celebrate and honor the legacy of Black history.